Well then, welcome back to my channel, and you join me on another in-session video. Now I've just arrived at my venue of choice for this session, and it's somewhere completely new, somewhere I've never fished before, and I literally just stumbled across while searching through sort of social media, you know, scrolling through, seen a couple of catch pictures, and kind of just had a little bit of a research sort of session, and realised that it's actually a lake that's recently joined the Go Catch app, which I am sort of more than familiar with recently after using it to book my last few sessions. So for this session I have come to Fairwood Lakes Holiday Park. Now this session was going to be a bit of a recce session as well. Just have a look at the facilities on site, because from what I believe there is camping, there's lodges, there's tree huts, there's kids play parks, there's a mini golf, etc, etc. So as you would expect from a holiday park, not only does it involve fishing, but it's probably one of those places that you can bring the family as well and keep them sweet at the same time, so you can get away and do your fishing while the missus and the kids go and make use of the facilities as well. So whilst I'm here, I'm going to have a little nose around and just see what's actually here. But from what I can tell, there's more than enough to keep everybody happy. Thankfully, the rain and everything else has passed. I don't think we're going to be getting any more rain for a good week or so now, thank God. So I might actually be able to stay dry and just enjoy a nice session down at Fairwood Lakes. I think it's time to go and get the barrow loaded. Fishing commences from 8 AM, so it's around 7:30 now, so that'll give me plenty of time to get the barrow loaded, make my way round to the lake, and we can go and have a look. So from what I understand, it's around 4.5 acres, sort of like a U shape with like a spit bit that runs through the middle. And I think it's going to be quite sort of up close and personal fishing, which is exactly my style. So I brought my baiting pole with me, and not too sure how I'm going to approach it yet until I've sort of set eyes on it. We'll have to have a proper look, get the deeper out, see what we're sort of playing with underneath the surface. From what I understand, it's around sort of 4 to 6 foot, so not massively deep at all. But I'm going to come and try and put one of these holiday park fish on my mat. Right, well, I've dumped the barrow and just come for a little look. As you can see, got the glasses on, cap on, hood up. Now the lake is kind of split into two. As I said, it's a bit of like a sort of horseshoe, a bit like a U shape, and it's got that sort of spit that kind of runs the majority of the lake. And then there is a bridge over there which you can get onto, sort of like that area, fish it from both sides sort of type thing. So a few sort of members that are staying at the park have come down with a couple of rods and stuff, so I've just come down the other end on the other side just to get out their way whilst I'm doing a bit of a sort of talk to camera piece. And it seems like the water is really murky, and just as that sun is rising over my shoulder, it might be worth, like I say, the ideal opportunity to just get the glasses on, come and have a little look, see if I can see anything really, any smoking up, anything like that. It's quite small. I should be able to see anything if there is anything going on, although the water is really murky, and it's quite apparent that there's quite a bit of sort of tree debris just in and around the edges, probably from all of the high winds and rough weather that we've had over the past few weeks. So I'm just gonna, like I say, just take 10-15 minutes to really sort of just walk around, get a sort of feel for the lake, and just see if I can see anything really. Like here, there is an inlet just down there that is pumping loads of water into there, and there is bubbles galore coming out of there, which would make me think that, you know, that's got to be a nice area in and around here for a fish or two to visit. washing water through, stirring up the bottom, kicking up anything that's on the lake bed, that sort of thing. So inlet pipes are always a good shout. So I might stick a little bit of bait just in front of that. But yeah, I think it's just going to be a day of kind of keep active, trying to see if I can find a few fish, bait a few spots maybe in and around the edge, and just try and drop, you know, rods on top of them. Just try and work at it. While it's a nice day, you know, I might as well be active and try and make something happen, and then just react to anything that I see throughout the day. So that's my plan of attack. Anyway, I'm going to stick this camera down now because my arm's absolutely aching. And yeah, go and have a walk around, and I'll let you know where I decide to plot up and start my session. Good look around, and I haven't seen anything yet. Just trying to get into sort of like the mindset of where the carp might be after a after a rough month, a rough week of again torrential sort of rain, etc., and the first bit of warmth. Now something is sort of pushing me down the end of the spit and along that sort of back bank as that sun from over my shoulder beats down into that area. It's on the slight back of any breeze. It's flat calm. And yeah, it's just something just drawing me to that area. Although sort of like the day anglers from the holiday park have sort of pitched up on the other side, but fishing obviously in the other half of the water, the other half of this lake is untouched. There's no other lines, so I could quite easily slip 3 rods out on the bushwhacker and cause little or no disturbance. So yeah, something's just drawing me up that end. There's sort of all little cuttings and overhanging trees and snags and stuff like that, and like I say, with the sun just beating down there, it just seems like the ideal place to start. So I might go and give it an hour or two up there just as that sun is making an appearance and see what happens. And then yeah, maybe just go for another walk and just try different spots every hour, 2 hours really. So let's go push the barrow through the slush, let's get a couple of rods out. Both the rods are out, and I've opted just to go sort of left and right of the biggest sort of tree snag that's kind of in front of me at the moment. The third rod is just sort of leant up against the barrow, and yeah, I've not actually decided what I'm going to do with that one yet. Probably just keep it as a bit of a rover if I see anything, to be honest. But the 2 rods are out fishing. I'll just swing the camera around. This just reminds me of sort of fishing park lakes and stuff, like growing up. You know, local park lakes, it's rough, it's red, you know, it's rough and it's ragged, and it's not sort of pruned, it's just, you know, natural habitat. You got sort of like snags and trees in the water, and you know, roots and bits and pieces. It is yeah, just, you know, my style of fishing really. Overhangs and bits and pieces. It's just yeah, up close and personal, you against the fish really. They'll know that inside out down there. So I'm locked up nice and tight, not moving away from the rods, and essentially I'm fishing to the right hand side over here, not tight, and to the left hand side over here, again not too tight, giving myself a bit of breathing space really, to be able to lure them away if I am lucky enough to hook anything from this tree and all these sort of overhangs and stuff like that. And I can imagine there's bits and pieces under that as well. Now when I was shipping the deeper out, it was showing around 3.5, 3.6, so it's really shallow. That sun is beating down left to right. It's seeing the best part of that sun, and like I say, with it being 3.5 foot, if I am lucky enough to hook anything, I've got a feeling that is going to erupt over there. So I'm going to sit on this for a couple of hours, see what happens. I've been very kindly given a key to one of the sort of tree huts that I was talking about at the intro of the video, so I'm going to go and have a little check those out a little bit later on, see what they're all about. And yeah, that is what I am looking at the moment. But it's peaceful, it's quiet, I can just hear, like, you know, I don't know, farm animals or something. But yeah, it's just so relaxful, peaceful, and I'm just going to hopefully wait for one of them two to hoop round. This is a key for one that's called Hobby, and now I'm not going to step too far inside, but if you have a look and you come with the missus or the missus and the kid, then there is a nice little bed in there that will keep those two happy, maybe whilst you're doing a night down on the lake. All you need to do apparently is just sort of bring your own bed in, so you can cover, you know, the duvet and the pillows. So just bring some pillowcases and a duvet cover, and you've got a nice comfy bed in there. I'll just swing the camera around actually and just show you what I'm looking at. So nice little bench area, a little lamp, mirror, all finished really nicely. Got a telly there as well. You got your kettle and your toaster, cups and mugs, little fridge down there, bin, drawers to keep your essentials stashed away, so it's all nice and tidy. But yeah, really nice finish. Now I believe this is only £110 for 48 hours, and not only that, you get your fishing ticket chucked in as well, so you don't have to pay any extra, I believe, for fishing if you wanted to come and rent this out for 48 hours. Now it's proper nice, proper tidy little finish, cute little finish, and like I say, you just situate it sort of amongst the trees with the other 3 tree huts there as well. And yeah, literally you got your park over there and stuff like that for your kids. So I'm well happy that you gave me the key to come and check that out, because yeah, I really wasn't too sure what to expect, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, it's really nice finish, nice and cozy, quite cute. And like I say, for 110 quid for 48 hours, I think that's an absolute bargain when you get your fishing chucked in as well. So yeah, I'm really impressed with that. So certainly one to think about in the warmer months. So yeah, appreciate you giving me the keys to come and check this out. Tidy little finish. That'll be a nice little stay for a small family. Well, the day's disappearing rapidly. It's probably about 2:30 now, and I've moved down the other end of the lake. So I went and checked out that sort of tree hut. On the way round, I baited up that sort of inlet and the tree a little bit sort of further up the bank, and now I'm actually sort of on the opposite side of the bank fishing over to it. So I've got 2 rods out there now. Just dropped 2 Ronnie rigs exactly where I sort of sprinkled a handful of pellet and sort of crumb boilie, etc. It's like 1.5 foot difference in depth down here compared to up that top end, and sort of on the deeper it's a lot firmer as well. Yeah, a lot cleaner. I was actually getting a yellow lake bed underneath a run of sort of silt, so it definitely seems a lot cleaner up here compared to up that other end when it was just literally pure purple on the deeper. There was very little sort of firmness about the lake bed at all. So it's 1.5 foot deeper, it's loads cleaner, and when that sun comes out from those clouds as well, my god, it's actually quite warm. So I'll just quickly spin the camera around and just show you what I'm doing, or where I've got the rods at least anyway. So just swing the camera around. So I've got the 2 rods there, One is going over to the inlet pipe, which is yeah, pushing out quite a bit of water, so I haven't gone too tight to it, just because I don't want it to sort of affect the buoyancy. It'll pop up and it just be, you know, wafting around like that. So I've come off of it a bit, and then there's a sort of quite a big tree over there that's coming out. Hasn't really got much sort of shrubbery on it or anything like that. It's just more branches than anything. So I'll put the other one just off that one. So that's the left and right hander, and then I've got a sneaky rod just down here as well, just into sort of like the mouth of where the bridge goes over to the sort of little bit of island that you can fish off. Now I'll just lower that one down by hand, and yeah, went down really firmly. So I just stood on the bridge and chucked a light sprinkling of pellet and a few crumb boilie over the top, so nothing sort of too heavy or anything like that. But if a fish does pass through underneath that bridge, then I'd like to think that yeah, that one there might stop him in his tracks. I just thought, well, I've got a third rod, it's away from these two, and I may as well make use of it. So I'm just going to chill out for a bit, I think, for a few hours, see if the warmth brings the fish down this end, and yeah, see if I can nick myself my first Fairwood Lakes carp. Well, the rods have been out a good couple of hours now. It's probably coming up to, yeah, around 4 o'clock. So it's been out best part of a couple of hours, and yeah, I've not seen anything that kind of gives me any sort of indication that fish may be in and around this area sort of the lake. I've seen no sort of fizzing up or nothing really, to be honest. I just don't think they're here, to be quite honest with you. The sun has been beating down in here. You might be able to see from sort of like my red cheeks and nose, but that sun has been beating down in here when it's poking out between those clouds, and it's been really warm. And if that's not enough to just sort of get them moving around a little bit and just, you know, scooting up and down that other bank, then yeah, I don't know what, you know, I don't know what is. So so yeah, they've been out, like I say, a good couple of hours at least now. As you can see, my stuff's over there now, so the guy that was fishing in there has just left, and when he was in there, there have been some fish boshing out in there as well. So it seems they are probably in this sort of bay corner. The guy who's sort of further up the bank said that he's sort of watched 3 or 4 fish as well scoot right in tight around the margin up there as well. So that's enough for me to say go and give it another couple of hours. But over in that area of the lake, I've got a baiting pole, can ship something out, you know, a rig out there and stuff, and try and intercept them in their tracks. But first excuse me, I'm just going to get my glasses on and just have a look around there, see if I can see anything really. Maybe try and prime a little couple of areas. It's a bit like sort of jungle warfare over there. There's so many trees and branches and sort of roots and stuff like that. I need to think about the best way of sort of approaching it, to ensure that I sort of safely land the fish, if I'm lucky enough to get a bite. So I need to just go around there and suss it out a little bit and see which is the best way to, you know, get an angle and stuff like that, and make sure I'm presented properly. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do after these couple of rods in, and yeah, go and have a little look and see if I can make it happen. Right, well, I've found them. I've come for a little walk. There's one there, there's one just come in underneath it. There was probably the best part of about 10 fish down here. There's another 2 just creeping out now. They are absolutely lapping up this sun on this far bank, knowing full well that they are safe in and amongst the jungle. There's the commons down there, mirrors down there. I've seen a really nice white sort of ghosty. There's another one just joining that one in there now. So there's 2 under there. Yeah, I think, to be honest, the probably most of the stock of the lake are sort of up and down this bank on these snags. I even went a little bit further up and just stood in here for about 5 minutes, and I just see one just come in from underneath my feet, right in the thick undergrowth, like roots and sticks and everything. I was not expecting to see a fish pop up, and yeah, really nice scaly one just popped up out of nowhere. But they are in this bay, lapping up the sun, they are moving. So there was the best part of like 10 fish in here when I typically before I brought the camera around. Another one just there, another one just moved in just down there. So they are getting around. I just need to think of a plan of attack of how to ship a bait out, probably a solid bag, and yeah, see if I can just get one of them to drop down on it. But it's crawling with fish over on this area. It's just whether they're interested or not. It might just be making the most of this sun on their backs, but I think it's definitely worth one rod. Try and give it a go. Oh yes, wicked, we've got one in the net. I was literally just scoffing my dinner. I was actually just warming up some naan bread, so probably got curry all around my mouth, and the rod absolutely starts bouncing, and all that effort to get around there, find them, stick that bag out in probably what, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. We got one in the net. Get in there, well happy, absolutely buzzing. Obviously one of those commons that was over there sunning themselves nearly caused me to burn my naan bread, but yeah, absolutely buzzing with that. Well happy. I'm scratching my head all day trying to make it happen, and finally it has. So I managed to turn the gas off whilst I was playing it, so I don't know what state those naan breads are in. My dinner's going to be cold, but yeah, I really couldn't care. Let's get him out and we'll have a little look. Well, there we go then, the first of the session, and just goes to show a hour in the right place with one rod can do more than for free in the wrong place. So I'm hoping he lets me pick him up. He has had a short and sweet battle, which I'm more than happy about. Managed to lure him away from the snags. But yeah, look at him. Proper clean, common. Probably £14, £15 maybe at a push. But I'm definitely not complaining. Third move of the day. Found fish over the sort of back margin. Slid a solid bag out into the zone. And yeah, less than an hour. This one had the bobbin bouncing up against the blank of the rod. Buzzing with that, well happy. So get some pictures, slipping back because he's actually quite cold. Clearly hasn't really woken up yet, because yeah, he didn't put up, like I say, much of a scrap once I lured him away from the sort of snaggy area. But I'm definitely not complaining. It's not a blank. Happy days. Right, wow, I've got a little visitor, my mate Stanley. We've just been talking all things fishing, haven't we, mate? Hey, and shown him.
Did you just take a picture of me?
No, we're going to be on YouTube, mate.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to talk about how we caught this fish, and then we'll get him out on the mat. What do you reckon? Yeah, cool. So as I say, cooking my dinner, got the rod out, had that fish, had to turn the cooker off, got the rod back out, didn't we, mate? Eh? Showed you exactly how I tied my solid bag and everything, and then yeah, I reckon the PVA bag must have just melted, and the bobbin started bouncing, and we was in again. And we've got a lovely scaly mirror in there. I was just saying to Stanley that we probably have to wait a little bit longer than the last one, because all the fish have probably just deserted the area. But couldn't be far from the truth. I reckon all 30 seconds. I reckon I just got the sections of the bushwhacker back in before yeah, before it went rattling off. So me and Stanley are going to get this one out, have a little look. We'll get a couple of pictures, and we'll slip him back and probably try and finish my dinner at some point. Yeah, this is my mate Stanley. He's come to say hello. But yeah, look at this one, absolutely stunning fish, isn't it, mate? He's brought me some luck. I've just slipped one back just as he arrived, and we stuck the rod back out, mate, didn't we? In 30 seconds, this absolutely belting mirror had yeah, snaffled the solid bag, snaffled the pink hook bait, and then was resting in our net, wasn't he? In our net, wasn't he? Eh?
Yeah.
So we're well happy. 2 fish in 2 minutes pretty much. So time to get a couple of pictures. We'll slip him back, and yeah, maybe try for one more, and I might actually, like I say, get to eat my dinner. So cheers, mate. Did you like him?
Yep.
Yeah, good.
I like eating them as well.
Hey? I'm pretty sure you probably don't taste too nice, mate. Give him a kiss. There you
No,
go.
no.
Say goodbye and we'll see him next time. What do you reckon? He'll slowly swim out once he's upright. That's it. Just let his stick his head down. There you go, mate. Well, what an eventful 10-15 minutes that was. As I say, dinner's all over the floor. Yeah, but I don't really care. Two fish in like 2 minutes. I really wasn't expecting it to go that quick after shipping it straight back out. I was talking little Stanley through, you know, exactly the process and what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and why I'm doing it. And yeah, lo and behold, literally the bag must have just melted and that indicator was pulling up tight. Can't quite believe it, but it's really nice to spend that moment with a really enthusiastic little boy. Like, he wanted to touch a fish, he wanted to just ask 1,000,001 questions, and you never know, that might have just sown the seed for him to go fishing in later on in his own life and get out and enjoy exactly why I do it as well. So apparently he said he's going to pop back around in the morning to see how I'm doing. So yeah, hopefully I can show him another 1 or 2 fish, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, time to get that rod sorted again, get it straight back out there, and like I say, try and finish off my dinner. But what a beautiful evening, sun shining, and yeah, I am buzzing. What a result. Right, well, all is calm in the holiday park. Everyone that's sort of been staying at the park, been enjoying their hot tubs in the lodges and stuff like that this afternoon. The kids have been sounding like they've had a whale of a time. I could quite actually do with a hot tub myself at the moment. I am absolutely bloody knackered. Sort of, yeah, just been busy all day today, haven't stopped for a single minute. So yeah, all I need to do now is get 2 more rods out. So that one's gone out over to where I've obviously had those couple of fish. I'm not going to move or anything like that, I'm going to stay put. The other 2 rods I have sort of made into those solid bags that I was talking about. Nice and flat, low profile, allow them just to set onto the lake bed and just sit amongst any bottom debris, and that's exactly what he's done over there and bought me those 2 bites. I've knocked up another 2 of them for my other two remaining rods, and yeah, all I need to do now really is just decide where I want to sort of get them out to. I think I'm probably just going to stick one down in the corner into the bay, and then maybe just ship one out on the pole over to the left and just give them the sort of generous serving of crumb boilie and pellet really. That one is obviously staying on the spot where I've had those 2 fish from. Don't really know what's going to happen through the night. Obviously it is quite a shallow lake, and the temperatures at night, they're sort of mid single figures, and you know, these fish that have been I've been catching, the 2 fish, they still feel really cold. Not like they've just not woken up completely yet, hence why they were having a good sunbathe earlier. So I really don't know how the night's going to pan out, but at least if I got all my rods out, then yeah, I'm sort of tripling my chances of at least sticking another one on the mat anyway before the morning. So let's get these 2 rods sorted and I can kick back and chill out, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But mega happy with having those 2, so yeah, really can't complain. It's made all the effort worthwhile. So let's get these 2 rods sorted and then think about getting the kettle on. Well, that didn't take long at all. What, 11 o'clock, so probably 2.5 hours or so into dark. That middle rod has gone busting off, the one over to the far bank where I've had the other 2 bites from, and we have got another common in the net. So yeah, after a short but sweet battle, managed to scoop him up. So let's get the mat out and let's have a little look. Well, there we go then, number 3 on the mat. Another really clean common, taken off that same spot over to the far bank, and yeah, off that solid bag again in that 4 foot of water. He is like a block of ice, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, look at him, really cool, nice and clean, really happy. 3 fish. I did have a bream earlier as well, which I unhooked, slipped back, managed to get the rod back out, but that was on the left-hander. But yeah, number 3 carp on the mat, and it's only just gone 11 o'clock. Happy days. So quickly get some pictures, just slip it back and get that rod straight back out. Well then, good morning, and what a good start to the morning it is. We've got one in the net, only a little common, probably the smallest of the bunch I reckon, but yeah, I am not complaining. As you can see, I've actually got no rods in the water. That was actually the last rod remaining, so that was the one that went right down into the sort of like the bay, just where it sort of just goes off into the corner there. So that was the last remaining rod. So as you would have seen, I had one last night around 11, half 11, and then managed to get that one back out. The left-hander then got breamed out twice, in which I couldn't deal with that anymore, so I brought that one in and left it in. I thought I still got 2 rods out. Then the middle rod got breamed out twice after obviously that common, so I was like, my god, I can't deal with this anymore. Left that one in, and yeah, that was the last remaining rod down on the sticks to go, and that's been out all night. It did have a generous spoonful of bait to see me through. I'm quite surprised the bream didn't devour that as well, but yeah, thankfully I've got got another little carp resting in the net, so I'm well happy about that. So just got the mat and stuff set up here. Just going to quickly get him out, slip the waders on, try and stay dry. It's a bit of a chilly start to the morning, but yeah, great way to start. I can think about getting that kettle on and getting my first coffee down my neck, because my god, I need it. So yeah, let's get him out on the mat, have a little look, get a couple of pictures, slip him back, and yeah, get that coffee down my neck. There we go then, my little alarm call. Like I say, probably the smallest of the session so far, but still, nonetheless, more than welcome. Angry little common with his dorsal up for effect, but yeah, he's like a little block of ice, I'm telling you. Even though when I put the deeper out, it's saying like the surface layer of the water was like 10 degrees, these fish definitely don't feel it. They feel like they are straight out of the freezer, I'm not gonna lie. But still, nonetheless, like I say, pretty little common. I'll take that all day long. And number 4 to the tally. So quickly get a couple of pictures, slip him back, get that rod back out over to the spot that produced me 3 fish yesterday, 2 through the day and 1 in the night, and have a very, very slow pack down. One single rod remaining on the sticks, just the net, and everything else is packed up actually quite neatly on the barrow, although I have just noticed that that tyre might go pop on the way back to the car. It's all starting to split around the sort of rim and stuff like that, so that is on its last leg. So I'm definitely going to have to order a new tyre next week. But yeah, I'm going to give it till 9 o'clock. I want to be on the road really at around 9:30, and yeah, going to call it a day there. So if anything obviously happens with that one single remaining rod in the next sort of 15-20 minutes, then yeah, I'll be getting the camera back out, and I'll be getting that mat back off the barrow. But I'm really happy the way that the sort of session, there's like 2 halves to the session really, like the yesterday morning and sort of through the day, just kind of chasing nothing really. And like I say, it wasn't until I got into this swim and it's pretty apparent that probably, you know, most of the lake stock was all up and down this bank, just making the most of that spring sunshine. And once I could get in here, hatch my plan of attack, yeah, I had 2 fish within an hour, and the second one literally 30 seconds after yeah, lowering it down with a baiting spoon. So yeah, it was definitely the right move, and I'm glad it's paid off. Like I say, 1 through the night, and then 1 at first light this morning. So 4 fish from a brand new water that I've never seen or stepped foot on before, didn't even know about until earlier this week. So I'm really happy with that, and yeah, can't really complain really from what is a tricky little lake. Like I said at the start, it's rough, it's ready, it's a bit, you know, ragged around the edges. It's all natural, overgrown trees, roots, etc, etc. So you know, you need to think about your approach and stuff like that, and that's exactly what I did when I found those fish over the other side. Thought about how I want to approach it, and yeah, it's paid off thankfully. So I'm glad to stick 4 fish in front of the camera. So if you got this far, I really appreciate you watching another video for the channel, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching it. So if you have, please do leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, and more importantly, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now in a couple of weeks I'll be out with Joe from Carpology, visiting again another brand new lake, and he's going to come and do some filming, so looking forward to that one as well. But yeah, really enjoyed this session. Another slightly wet pack down, but I'm not going to complain when I've like I say, when I've had fish on the mat, so really not that fussed. And it's meant to be pretty nice next week, so I can dry it off anyway. So that's enough of me rabbiting on. Like I say, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch up with you next time I am out on the bank.